What if the last photo you ever took and was the reason you died? People falling from cliffs, climbing moving trains, posing with wild animals, or trying to impress the internet. Real lives lost over a single picture. Before we begin, we want to be clear. We have the deepest respect for every victim and their families. This video is not meant for mockery, but to warn, inform, and help prevent future tragedies. Today we explore 15 shocking selfie tragedies from around the world, and the lessons each one leaves behind. Viewer discretion advised. Let's begin. Case 1. Ana Ursu, Romania. In 2015, 18-year-old Ana Ursu was traveling with friends in Romania when she made a tragic decision. The group was riding a train, and Ana wanted a dramatic selfie. Not inside the train, but on top of it while it was moving. She climbed up, planning to take a dangerous but cool photo to post online. But the moment she stood, her body came close to a high-voltage power line carrying more than 27,000 volts. She didn't even need to touch it. The electrical arc crossed the air and struck her instantly, throwing her several meters away. Her phone was found meters from her body. Witnesses say she never even got to take the photo. Her friends later told investigators it was supposed to be a fun picture, nothing more. A powerful reminder. Sometimes the danger you don't see is the one that kills. Next, we remember Oscar Otero Aguilar from Mexico. In 2014, 21-year-old Mexican man Oscar Otero Aguilar wanted a selfie that he thought would impress his friends. A picture holding a loaded handgun, pointing it toward his own head in a cool pose. Oscar had been drinking that night, and according to witnesses, he was trying to capture a dramatic photo for social media. But while preparing the shot, the gun accidentally fired. The bullet struck him at close range, and Oscar died before medics could arrive. His friends later told police they thought he was just posing, not realizing how serious the situation was until they heard the gun go off. A chilling lesson. Weapons are never props. Even a single moment of carelessness can be fatal. Now our third story, the tragedy of Sharika Yalagar from India. In 2017, 16-year-old Sharika Yalagar and a group of friends in India were dancing and taking selfies during a birthday celebration. They wanted a group photo with a kitchen knife as a fun prop, something dramatic for social media. But while posing, one friend accidentally slipped. The knife in his hand struck Sharika in the neck. The group thought it was just a small cut at first, until she collapsed to the floor. By the time medical help arrived, it was too late. The photo was never posted. The celebration instantly turned into a tragedy that changed multiple lives forever. A heartbreaking reminder. Even harmless objects can become deadly when used for the perfect selfie. Now we move to another tragic story. The case of Ramjan Usman Sheikh from India. In 2018, 20-year-old Ramjan Usman Sheikh was traveling by train when he decided to record a daring selfie video hanging from the doorway. His goal was to look fearless and adventurous, something impressive to post online. But as the train moved at high speed, Ramjan leaned out further for a better angle. He didn't notice a large pole ahead. In an instant, it struck him with massive force. Passengers pulled the emergency brake and tried to help, but the injuries were too severe. The video was recovered from his phone, showing the moment just before impact. A chilling reminder of how fast a risk can turn fatal. A tragic case that highlights how selfies on trains have caused a rising number of deaths in India over the last decade. In Turkey, a breathtaking viewpoint became the last place a traveler would stand. Here's what happened. In 2019, a 68-year-old Russian tourist was visiting the popular Dudin Cliffs in Antalya, Turkey, a famous spot known for dramatic ocean views and powerful waterfalls. She asked her friend to take a photo, but the background wasn't perfect. So she took a few steps backward, then a few more. Witnesses said she was smiling, posing, and adjusting her stance, completely unaware that she was now standing just inches from the cliff's edge. Suddenly, her foot slipped on loose gravel. In one terrifying second, she lost her balance and fell more than 110 feet into the rocks and ocean below. Rescuers rushed to the scene, but by the time they reached her, it was too late. Cliff deaths during photos have increased worldwide, and experts say the same pattern repeats. A few steps back for a better angle, and no margin for error. Next, we look at the heartbreaking case of a teenager in India who wanted an impressive train selfie, but the risk proved fatal. In 2018, a 17-year-old student in Chennai, India, decided to take what he thought would be an epic selfie next to a moving train. Several friends warned him it was dangerous, but he insisted he knew what he was doing. He stood extremely close to the tracks, smiling and posing while the camera recorded. What he didn't realize was just how fast the train was approaching. As he leaned in for a dramatic angle, the train struck him from the side, throwing him to the ground. Witnesses rushed to help, but the injuries were too severe, and he died shortly after. Trains are involved in some of the highest numbers of selfie deaths worldwide, mostly because people underestimate speed, distance, and how quickly a mistake becomes irreversible. Up next, we head to Portugal for the story of a mother who slipped at a stunning but deadly coastal viewpoint. In 2019, a 44-year-old mother from Australia was vacationing in Portugal with her family. They stopped at the famous cliffs near Cabo da Roca, a stunning viewpoint known for dramatic ocean scenery but also steep, unprotected edges. She wanted a photo with her partner, and like many tourists, stepped close to the cliff edge for the perfect angle. But while adjusting her position, she lost her footing. In seconds, she slipped and fell more than 100 meters to the rocks below. Rescue teams worked through the night to recover her, while their children, who witnessed the accident, had to be taken into psychological care due to the trauma. Cliffside photos are incredibly popular worldwide, yet wet rocks, wind, or a single wrong step can turn a family vacation into heartbreak within moments. No selfie is worth crossing the invisible line where beauty becomes danger. A single second of miscalculation, and the photo becomes a tragedy instead of a memory. Here's the devastating story of a teen in India whose life ended while trying to capture a daring selfie. In 2017, a 15-year-old boy from Uttar Pradesh, India, was hanging out with friends at home when they decided to take cool selfies for social media. One of the boys found his father's revolver and thought it would make the photo look more impressive. They didn't realize the gun was loaded. While posing for the selfie, the teen accidentally pulled the trigger. The shot fired directly into his head. His friends rushed him to the hospital, but he was pronounced dead shortly after. His father later told the press that the revolver was kept hidden, and he had no idea the boys had found it, or that they believed it was safe to play with. The tragedy became a national headline and sparked a warning from police. A photograph is never worth risking your life, especially when weapons are involved. One mistake, and there is no second chance. Here's the tragic story of a tourist in Portugal who slipped while enjoying the view. In 2019, a 27-year-old Australian tourist visiting Portugal's famous Cabo da Roca, a dramatic cliff overlooking the Atlantic, wanted a perfect romantic selfie with her partner. They stood close to the edge, smiling with the ocean behind them. But while adjusting their positions, both accidentally stepped too far. The ground beneath them crumbled, and they slipped off the cliff. Rescue teams took hours to recover the bodies due to the dangerous terrain. Witnesses later said the couple wasn't behaving recklessly. They were simply focused on the photo and didn't notice how close they had drifted to the edge. Their tragic death became a global reminder. When you're trying to capture the perfect moment, gravity does not forgive hesitation. A single step at the wrong time can turn a beautiful memory into a final one. Now we come to the story of a man in India who tried to film a close-call selfie with a train and paid the ultimate price. In 2018, a 22-year-old man from Hyderabad, India, tried to record a dramatic selfie video with a speeding train passing just inches behind him. He stood on the tracks, held up his phone, and smiled as the train approached. The conductor blasted the horn repeatedly, warning him to move, but the man stayed still, believing he could capture a viral moment. At the last second, the train clipped him with full force, throwing him off the tracks. He died shortly after from his injuries. Even more chilling, the entire accident was recorded on his own phone. Local police released a public statement afterward, warning that more people had died taking selfies in India that year than anywhere else in the world, especially around trains, bridges, and moving vehicles. One decision for 5 seconds of video, one permanent consequence. Now let's talk about a tragic incident in Panama, where a tourist lost her life during a balcony selfie. In 2018, a 27-year-old woman living in Panama tried to take a dramatic selfie on the balcony of her apartment, 27 floors above the ground. Witnesses from nearby buildings reported seeing her sitting on the railing, holding her phone up to capture the perfect angle with the city skyline behind her. A sudden gust of wind pushed her off balance. She lost her grip and fell all the way to the street below. Her phone was later found still recording. Authorities released a statement after the investigation. If she had been standing just 30 centimeters further back, she would have survived. Firefighters in Panama later revealed a shocking statistic. More than 90% of fatal selfie falls happen because the person is standing on the edge with their center of gravity outside the railing. A tragic reminder that one photo, no matter how beautiful, is never worth a life. Now let's talk about the teenager who fell into a volcano in Indonesia. In 2019, a 19-year-old student was visiting the famous Mount Merapi volcano in Indonesia, one of the most active in the world. He walked ahead of his group to take a dramatic selfie with the steaming crater behind him. Tour guides shouted for him to step back, reminding him that the area had no protective barriers, and the ground there could crumble at any moment. But the teenager wanted one more picture. As he leaned back with his phone raised, the volcanic rock gave way beneath his feet. He slipped, rolled down the slope, and disappeared into the crater. Rescue teams rushed in, but the location was extremely dangerous. Toxic gases and unstable ground made recovery almost impossible. It took the 6 hours before they could retrieve his body. Local authorities later issued a warning stating, "Mount Merapi is not a photo studio. One mistake and nature is unforgiving." His story became a nationwide reminder about the risks of chasing the perfect picture in dangerous natural locations. Case 13. A young man who lost his life for a cliffside selfie. Brazil. In 2017, in Palmas, Brazil, 28-year-old Pierre de Freitas went hiking with friends at a tourist viewpoint known for its beautiful landscape and dramatic cliffs. As the group reached the top, Pierre wanted a perfect photo, the kind that would stand out on social media. He walked to the edge of the cliff, turned his phone toward himself and prepared to take a selfie with the valley stretching out behind him. Witnesses said he stepped too close. His shoe slipped on the dusty rock surface, and within seconds, he lost his balance. Pierre fell over 30 meters into the rocky ravine below. His friends rushed down the trail, desperate to help, but the fall had been too severe. Local rescue teams arrived, but there was nothing they could do. After the investigation, authorities released a public warning. Now let's look at a tragic selfie accident in India. A student in India joined a group of friends on a famous cliffside known locally as a selfie spot. The place had become popular on TikTok and Instagram because people would lean over the edge to take dramatic photos with a huge drop in the background. Witnesses said the teen was joking, laughing and bragging, "Watch this, I'll get the craziest shot." He climbed onto a narrow rock outcropping with no guardrails, turned his back to the cliff, and held out his phone for a selfie. But while adjusting his angle, he took one small step backward without realizing how close he was to the edge. His friends screamed, but it was too late. He slipped and fell more than 200 feet. Emergency responders later said he likely died instantly. Police noted that this wasn't the first case at that location. Tourists and young influencers had fallen before, but the spot remained popular because people see the photos online, not the consequences. His parents said he was a good student, smart and responsible. He just made one momentary mistake trying to impress his friends and the internet. A single step, and a life was over. The tragedy became a headline reminder. The photos you admire on social media never show the danger behind the camera. Our last story shows how one daring selfie at the Mexico-US border ended in tragedy. In 2023, a 28-year-old tourist visiting the Mexico-US border wanted a dramatic photo sitting on top of a steel border monument that overlooked a deep slope below. Others in the group warned him it looked risky, but he insisted, "It'll just take 1 second, get the camera ready." He climbed the angled metal surface, posing with one hand raised triumphantly. But the metal was dusty and smooth, and when he shifted his weight to readjust his pose, his foot slipped. His friends watched in horror as he lost balance and tumbled over the far side, falling nearly 60 feet down onto sharp rock. Rescue teams arrived quickly, but he was already gone. Authorities said the spot had become a popular place for daredevil selfies, even though it was never meant for climbing and had no safety railings. His family said he was adventurous, kind, and never meant to do anything reckless. He just wanted an unforgettable photo. One moment of excitement, one perfect picture, cost a life that cannot be replaced. These 15 stories share one tragic truth. A single photograph can change a life forever, and sometimes end it. Every person in these cases had dreams, families, futures, and people waiting for them to come home. None of them planned to die that day. They just wanted a cool picture. So if you ever find yourself thinking, remember the people we talked about today. No photo, no angle, no amount of likes is worth your life. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Stay alive. If you want more true stories from around the world, the shocking, the inspiring, and the unbelievable, subscribe to Discover Now Facts here on this channel. More facts are coming, and you won't want to miss them.